Hey everybody, Alex DeChico here from the DCC Academy of Music. I'm shooting a quick refresher from Group Piano Session 3, and I'm going to walk you through the hand position and fingering for Rock of Ages. So we're going to start by finding an F. We can find an F by finding a group of two black keys and going one to the left. We're going to find the white key on the left-hand side of that group of three black keys. So I find a group of three black keys on the piano. I like to put my second, third, and fourth fingers on the keys. And then I'm going to use my second finger and just go one to left to find the right note and the right finger to start off with. So that's a pretty useful way to start off this piece. I find the group of three black keys. I find my second finger, my third, and my fourth. And with my second, I go one to the left, one down, and I start this piece here. So this piece is going to start off by going F, C, F. So we're going to go from our second finger down to our first finger and back up to our second finger. And our C is going to be, if we find the group of two black keys, it's going to be one to the left of that. That's our C. So I can start off the piece by finding the groups of black keys. The first note is to the left of this group of three. The second note is to the left of this group of two. So I start off, pretty straightforward, just F, C, F. 2, 1, 2. My fourth finger is going to play the B flat. So by finding my ring finger on the B flat, the top of this group of three black keys, I'm going to play 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll use all the fingers that I have. Now I'm going to jump up to another C. We had played a C down here to the left of those group of two black keys. Now we're going to go up and play a C, and we're going to use our fourth finger again. Now we're going to play C, and then D with our pinky. We're going to point to G. So this is really important. We use our pointer finger to point to G, and then we're going to come up. Okay, so I'll run by that part again. We started off like this. It's 2, 1, 2. And then we went 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to use that same fourth finger to play the next note up, which is C. We go up to a D, we point to G, and then we're going to use the same fingers we just used a second ago. That was 4, 3, 2, 1. The melody repeats, or it's very similar. So now we're going to start the melody again. We're going to switch to our second finger. Okay, same as we did before. Now the fourth finger again on B flat. Melody changes a little bit. Now we're going to jump up back to the C with our fourth finger. And we come up 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So that's most of the first page of Rock of Ages. So I'll just run through that one more time. I'll just talk through my fingering as I do it. I'm going 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's the beginning of the piece. I find second, third, and fourth fingers on this group of three black keys. I go one to the left, one down in pitch to find this white key. It's the very first white key that you hit if you go to the left of that group of three. And I use my second finger. I like to place my second finger on the key, place my first finger on this key, and my fourth finger on that key even before I start. This way I have all the fingers that I need to play the first four notes. And now I'm going to have to play three more notes below this B flat, so I bring my hand up, and I play 3, 2, and then 1. I'm just leaving them down so you can see. So again, the motion for the first part of the piece looks like this. 2, 1, 2, 4. My thumb comes up, the whole hand kind of scrunches, and I go 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to unsquish my hand and bring my fourth finger up to C. So it was here. Now my hand opens up a little bit, and I find my ring finger on C. Okay, and I jump down to that G. This G is the same G I played before, same finger, and now I just go up. Okay, here it is nice and slow without me talking. that's Rock of Ages. That's what we learned for the first part of our third session of group piano. And then I want to jump to the chords for Rise Up. And these are the four really, really common chords you're going to find in pop music. Not just pop music, you actually find them all over the place. And this is our four chords, the four chords that are also called the primary chords. Three of those four chords are called the primary chord in any key, primary chords. So we're going to start off by playing the first chord of this piece, which is C, then G, then A minor, and then F. Then it goes back to C. And so here your fingering is really going to make all the difference. And we talked a lot about these two outer voices meaning the highest note in each chord and the lowest note in each chord. During class we mentioned that the shape of your hand, like the distance between your thumb and your pinky, is really going to stay the same as you travel down. So I'll just play the outer voices. You can see that this distance stays pretty constant, even when I add in the middle notes. So my hand is not changing shape, it's not coming in and then going back out and then coming back in, right? It's not doing this, it's not opening and closing. It's really staying the same width from thumb to pinky. And what happens when you move down these four chords is that the top note of each chord is just the next adjacent white key. And by adjacent, I mean just going down steps, each one next to the other. So I start on C. I can find that C by finding the group of two black keys, and I come one to the left, that's my C. And I just play C. I come down to the next white key, which is B, and down to the next white key below that, which is A. And then I repeat that A. So if I were to play just the pinky, I wouldn't play it with my hand like curled under, but that's just so you can see it. My thumb is going to start on E, so I find the group of two black keys. C is at the bottom, C, D, E. E is at the top, so I find my E here. This whole chord it starts at the top of a group of black keys, and then it ends up here at the bottom of a group of two black keys. So if you find those groups of two, and you kind of come inside of them, you find the first chord that you want to start with. And I just move down, so white keys. This one goes down to the next white key, that one goes down to the next white key. And then the same thing, and then we repeat that. For the middle voices, there's a couple different ways to do this. I'm going to use my third finger and my second finger. So I'm going to start with that middle note, which is a G, with my third finger. When I play the G again, the G chord, I'm going to switch to my second finger. So it's going to look like this. Actually, I had that backwards. Sorry, I'm going to start with my second finger, and when I play the G chord, I'm going to switch to my third. And you'll see what this looks like. For the C chord, those are the starting notes, right, for the outer voices. And here my pointer finger is going to point at G. When my hand comes down, when the whole hand moves to the left, my middle finger is now pointing to that same note. So it's a little bit more comfortable for me to play this than to try and have my if I play with my second finger, it turns my wrist. So I start off, I move the whole hand down, and now the middle finger is pointing towards the note that I need. So I go 2, 3. Now I'm going to do that same pattern with the middle voices, starting with the second finger and going to the third. So I come down again. Now my second finger is pointing at E. And when I repeat the chord, I'm going to play my middle finger up to an F. Looks like this. So as your thumb and pinky are coming down like this, your pointer finger is playing the first note in the middle, then your middle finger plays the next note, then your pointer plays the next note, and then your middle plays the next. So it's this motion that's happening with the inner voice. That gives you the four chords. mileage, musical mileage out of those 4 chords. So that's one way to build them. You can build them note by note. So you could say E, G, C, D, G, B, C, E, A, C, F, A. That's another way to do it, and I'll do that again and I won't cover up my voice with the playing. So E, G, C, D, G, B, C, E, A, and C, F, A. That's another way to build those chords, to do them letter by letter. I like to think about them as having 3 voices, but you can think about it as spelling letters if that works for you better. So that's pretty much what we worked on. We reviewed a little bit of Winter Solstice, which you can feel free to review with the first video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and have a great time practicing this week.